Welcome back, Fishos. Friday fishing report time. School holidays are upon us. I tell you what, this week, a lot of visiting anglers saying g'day, listening to our reports way down in Melbourne and also up to the border in Queensland. So thank you very much to listening to our fishing reports here in Port Stephens, and welcome to Port Stephens as well. Bit of a fishing mecca for visiting anglers, that's for sure. And the weather has been pretty good this week, I tell you what. At least it's getting a little bit warmer now. And the weekend, well, 30 degrees they're saying over the weekend. Nor'westers though, unfortunately. But looking at the weather map, I think tomorrow being Saturday, I think that nor'wester will slow up in the afternoon. It has been up here in Port Stephens. I know Newcastle Lake Macquarie's been blowing a dog off a chain, but hopefully Port Stephens, we're on the edge of it. By the afternoon, Saturday afternoon, it should back away a bit. And then into Sunday, nor'wester again, but then it turns to the southeast in the afternoon. So it's not too bad for the weekend. I think Sunday, if you're going to do a bit of an offshore mission, probably in the morning, we'll fish pretty good. So definitely worth a shot this weekend. Now, in the bay, begin in the bay. Mac tuners are still about. Lots of them actually in the bay, ripping through those small frogmouth pilchard schools. Scattered throughout the bay, anywhere from Shoal Bay over to Jimmy's Beach and then right up towards Soldiers Point. So just to keep an eye on those turns and looking for those fish busting up. Do not troll through them, you won't catch them. A lot of frustrated anglers throwing 30-gram spinners into them, not getting bit. And it comes down to, those 5-gram and 11-gram armour anchovies, which I bang on every week. But I tell you what, we have a shipment coming in today, being Friday. I've had a look at the freight company. That shipment will be in today, being Friday. So hang on tight, they'll be on the walls by this afternoon. So armour anchovies on the Mac tuners in the bay. A few Taylor mixed in, a few salmon as well. Those salmon hanging around that sanctuary zone there at Little Beach. When that tide starts to rush out. You can fish from the wharf there at Little Beach, but you can't fish from the beach there. So once it goes back to Halifax Park there. So just be warned, there are fisheries officers out and about. I know someone that got actually pinged there yesterday, flathead fishing. So just take note of that it is a sanctuary zone. I don't make the rules, but just got to abide by them. There you go. So good to see the pelagic action inside the bay. Now the bay's clearing up really well. It's pushing. Look, that dirty water is virtually pushed out of the bay. Karua is actually fishing really well at the moment too. Flatties have certainly come on up the Karua River, so plenty of good flatties up that way. A few mulloway hanging around the bridges there as well. So lots of smaller mulloway, but there's a couple of good ones thrown in the mix there as well, both bridges. And a few crabs starting to get up that way as well. So definitely worth having a look up the Karua system. Up Tillagary there, I heard Tillagary is fishing okay. The slime weed is patchy, but if you can avoid the slime weed, there are some really nice flatties up in behind the racks up the Tillagary at the moment. So worth a shot up there. A few crabs getting about up that way as well, a few blue swimmers. It is getting time. That water is slowly warming 20 degrees in the bay. So be worth getting the traps in for a few muddies at the moment, although I heard during the winter there when we had those floods you could catch them then, but they just didn't have any meat in them. So worth putting the crab traps out in the moment. As we fall back further down the bay, Wanda Headland, there's a few nice flatties through Wanda Headland. Back down along Corlett Beach around the Groins area, Bagnalls Beach. A few nice flatties through there. Now, the Nelson Bay breakwall, still fishing well for bream, although the size has gone down a little bit. Still a few luderick there, but there's been a few kingies down there. I know a few kings have been caught off the breakwall during the week around that 80 to 90 centimetre mark. So worth a look for a kingy down off the breakwall at the moment. Down into Shoal Bay as well. Couple of whiteys starting to turn up on Shoal Bay. Wouldn't say they're thick though at the moment, but definitely worth a fish for a few flatties, especially out the front of the caravan park, down to the wharf at first light, and then down to the boat ramp to the old hospital and through the hospital grounds there. If you get up early enough and catch that tide before you sort of get swimmers, kayakers, jet skiers and whatever else, because it is holiday season, you will find a few nice fish down that way as well. So all in all, the bay is fishing pretty well. Did hear of a couple of mulloway caught up around Soldiers Point. It is that time of year, that sort of late September into October, where we do see a few mulloway start to congregate off the back of Middle Island there as well. So worth a shot doing that. So bait fishing well, get out there. Flatties doing pretty well. I know there's a few nice ones being caught this week in that 70 centimetre range. I know my good mate Jack, who's heading up to the Gold Coast Flatty Classic this weekend. I think it starts middle of next week. He nailed a few nice fish up into the mid-70s. So a little bit of a competition going on between him and I this year on the flatties. So stay tuned. We might even go fishing together. We might even do a bit of banter, a bit of a filming session there once he gets back, and we'll get these school holidays out of the road. So anyway, he's a good fella, Jack. Does really well, sponsored by Shimano, good local lad, and fishes really well on the flatties, that's for sure. So good luck in the Flatty Classic, Jack. Anyway, moving on. So the beaches, not much swell this week, but the beaches fishing well, especially up towards the spit at Fingal there. A few flatties on Fingal Spit on this side of it, so the southern side of it, you can't cross it at the moment. Salmon and Taylor there as well. There's been a big school of salmon up that way moving through Fingal, so if you wanted to get the medals out, have a spin for a few salmon off the beach, I think you'll do all right. A few Taylor mixed in as well. Some bream off the beach there at the moment, so some good tides coming up to fish the beaches. The other beaches, Samurai still out of bounds unless you walk it, but it'd be worth the walk if you want somewhere that's isolated at the moment, so it'd be good fishing down Samurai. As for 1 mile, fish Middle Rock. There's not much structure on 1 mile at the moment, but Middle Rock around that area, there's a couple little gutters there that fish pretty well. As for Berruby's looking pretty good at the moment. Not much swell, nor'westers, so it's going to be pretty flat, but some good tides to fish down Berruby at the moment. We're getting that time of year where I don't mind chasing a few mulloway off the beach. Used to do a fair bit of it October, November. Used to do pretty well off the beach, so definitely worth a shot on the mulloway at this time of year on the beaches. Now on the rocks, with that lack of swell, it's going to be a little bit hard to do some wash fishing, but if you get up early, that first light or last light, get up early trail going, there still are plenty of bream around. There will be drum around, but the water is clear, so it's going to be a little bit hard on the drummer. I still reckon it'd be worth a snapper off the rocks if you want to throw some unweighted baits, get some burley off the rocks, even cast some plastics around at the moment too. Be worth throwing a stick bait around for a kingy. It is that time of year where we do see some good kings around the rocks, especially that northern part of Boulder Bay, and up towards that way there's a couple of nice ledges that do hold some good kings at this time of year. Down towards Boat Harbour, Sunny Corner, you can catch some nice kings down there. Salmon off the rocks as well, Taylor. If you get up early enough, you'll get some nice Taylor around One Point, places like that at the moment. Down off Cemetery Point at Berruby, there's some good ludrick off the rocks there. In a nor'wester, it doesn't fish too bad at all, so rocks fishing pretty well. Moving on to the offshore now, still some good snapper around. Good mate Paul's been getting some really nice reds still. He fished a bit deeper this week, 40, 50 metres. He said he even came up trumps with a few nice pearlies. The squid trexes doing the job again. We just got a reload of squid trexes and also some of those new Nomad squid patterns as well in the plastic. So reload there. Also, George actually got a cracker as well. Nice snapper on the squid trex, just sitting in the rod holder. Good old Roddy rod holder. So definitely worth a shot at chasing a few reds in that deeper water. A few pearlies turning up. Spoke to Brad off Pacific Blue Charters. Caught a few pearlies off the back of the 21, so which is good to see. So strange time of year, but they're definitely there. In the shallows, get a burley trail going, and I reckon you'll find a few snapper around towards the sisters, places like that. A few nice kings up that way as well. There's plenty of bait. Water is clear. So if you want to throw some stick baits or troll some live baits, I think you'll find a few kings around, especially that southwestern side of Broughton. Coming back down the islands out the front, still worth a shot of a king out the front of Little Island there. A few bonito hanging around if you want to go for a troll there. Good with the kids. School holidays, nice flat conditions. You can get some hard bodies, go for a troll for a few bonito, and salmon and Taylor in the washes at the moment. Front of Fingal's also a good idea. Now, moving further south, in the nor'westers, it doesn't fish too bad off the northern side of Boat Harbour. You get a few nice snapper there at this time of year. So with those nor'westers, it wouldn't be too bad fishing in the afternoon for a few reds on the northern side of Boat Harbour there if you want to launch the boat in. Now, moving further east towards the continental shelf, had a look at the charts. It doesn't look too bad. Altimetry doesn't look the best. Slight bit of trickle from the north in the current. A couple of guys I know went out and fished Allmark. A couple of kings out there. Not big fish, 6 to 8 kilos, but there are some kings on Allmark. Said the current wasn't too bad. A slight knot and a half coming down from the north there. But further down, about 10 miles south there, 32.50. Again, a little bit of a striped marlin bite there over the edge of the shelf in that sort of 100 to 200 fathom sort of line. There's been a bit of bait out there. There's been pilchards out there this time of year. That whale migration, you'll see plenty of humpbacks moving south. But just over the edge, there's been some pilly schools on the surface there. There's been a couple of striped marlins sighted feeding on those. I wouldn't say it's prolific, but it'd be worth a shot if you want to get out there. Sunday looking the better day. That nor'wester going to southeast, you can ride the sou'easter home. So around that 32.50 down, 32.55 looks the best on the chart at the moment if you're keen on doing that this weekend. Anyway, that's it. Oh, don't forget, kids fishing comp will start Saturday and run through to the 11th October, which is 2 weeks. There you go. So 3 species, flathead, brim and tailor, catch and release only. Get in store. Mum and Dad have to register in store. You'll get a free packet of squidgies. This one's sponsored by Shimano. They always come up with the goods. So get in store, kids. We have our fishing comp on this school holidays. Anyway, you'll get out of the hair of Mum and Dad anyway. There we go. That's it for this fishing report. Enjoy your weekend. Get out there fishing.